All right, welcome back to Fem Football. It's been a while, but we're back.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Hello.
All right, so the 2024 Paris Olympics are almost here,
Mm-hmm.
and we are going to talk about roster picks for the U.S. women's team,
Mm-hmm.
who we think maybe want. No, I think more just who we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's who I have.
Absolutely.
Who I want. Who cares what Emma Hayes says? Some of
I
mine's
mean, she should listen to us anyways.
right. I think she may have some different picks than what I've got. One
Yeah,
thing
me
I think
too.
we both can agree on 18 slots is not very much. I do not envy any of the coaches.
Mm-mm. No, it was very hard to pick them and even just to be a little objective. I was like, I don't necessarily know that this is my favorite player, but I still have to be logical that they're a good soccer player. So they need to still
Right,
be
and
on the
like,
team.
oh, they could slot into another position if need be. That kind of stuff. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
agreed. That's where sometimes I'm like, well, yeah. I also had some, and my alternates are very heavy um, defensively anyway because of certain things. But yeah, I had some of that. Really, it's just that when I was writing them out, I had people I had, okay, this, and then I was like, oh, I really got, I'm a little lean in a certain area, but I'm really committed to this, so they just can't get injured.
You're gonna play 90 minutes in every single match and just deal with it.
Some of them will just have to.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with, where do you want to start at? From like keeper forward or like forwards and back?
We can do keepers forward. I
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so like okay, I mean I try my best. Like I told you earlier that I try to pick or be somewhat aware of who's really injured. Some people are slightly injured or mystery, and I may have them, but it doesn't mean they're out. They still have a month, right, to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so within the realms of the moment, that's what I have. And I try to pick people. Well, there's people I want, but then I also try to be a little bit realistic about who makes the roster or have been invited to camps. Even though there's some people I think have had good performances with their club lately. But then I thought, well, I mean, if they hadn't been invited, I don't know. Maybe Emma Hayes is never going to, although I feel like they could. This is where it gets into more what I want, but somewhat realistic. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how you're approaching it like that or
Yeah, I try to pick mostly people that have been called up at some point to the team, so that it wouldn't just be like a brand new pick. Because obviously, I mean, just if I was to pick somebody, I'd pick like a Katie Lund because I like Louisville, and she has a lot of clean sheets and stuff, but she hasn't been called up once, so I wasn't going to put her on my roster because I don't want to, I guess, hurt my own feelings of things that aren't going to happen ever. So,
not.
or
Right.
that I can never see that they're happening.
Yeah, I
So,
agree. So, okay, I have, I know she was out injured, but she has played a couple matches recently, but I have Nair. Like, I think that's just her spot.
uh-huh.
Um, and then I only have one other goalkeeper on the 18, and that's Jean Campbell. But for me, honestly, I think she's the best U.S. goalkeeper at the moment. It's just that Nair has this spot, and we know that she does really well in PK. What do you, penalty kickoffs? Yeah, and
Yeah,
so I think that's her spot. But right now, I really believe Jean Campbell's the best U.S. keeper.
absolutely, yes. I actually picked those same two people, but I did put Casey Murphy as an alternative
Oh yeah,
because
I did. Yeah, I had her as an alternate also.
um, I know that you maybe leaned heavy towards certain other players with alternates, but she's one of my, like, I did one for each position or each section, whatever. So I don't know that she's doing great at this moment, but I do like seeing her play, especially with the national team. So I'd be happy to have that. There's a couple, um, like Abby Smith, that was with Gotham, I believe. She's pretty. She's shown up as a young player. Um, a couple other newer ones like that, and so they're exciting to watch. But I just don't know that they have the experience yet to be pulled up to something to this extent.
Right, 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 right. All right, okay, so we have the same people for keepers because I have Casey Murphy as an alternate as well,
Hmm.
just in case. Let's do center backs. I have, this is where I'm a little late. I have Garma and
Hmm.
I have Davidson. And then there's other people
Yeah,
that can slot in there, but I'll just stick, because those are two that are like traditionally this. I have Garma and Davidson. That's who I've got.
I, yeah, I have those two as well.
Do you have any backups there?
Uh, Possibly Dahlkemper.
Oh, she's my alternate.
Hmm. Well, Sam Staub is my alternate in the defensive area, like section.
Okay, so you know what? Let's not mention alternates because I'm getting confused.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got Gene Campbell, Nair, Stoi, Gurma, Davidson, and then who else do you have? Wait, in your
Emily,
18 for center back?
Emily. Oh, center back specific.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gurma and Davidson is it.
Yeah. Okay. This is what I meant about like can't get injured.
Yeah, no.
And but I mean I've got people who can fill in there, but I don't. It's not like I've got a bunch of people for center back, and there's good people that could
Hmm.
do it. I just ran out. This is where I realized I started back, and then I got real heavy up top, and then I realized I didn't have any left. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, I just started typing names into the thing, like randomly putting the names into the system, not even necessarily within a certain, like, oh, you're a goalkeeper, you're defensive, things like that. I just put them in, and I'm like, well, I really need to categorize these and then limit it down now because I put them, like, just all the names that I could think of off the top of my head for the U.S. national team, and I went from there.
Oh, okay. No, I definitely had position specifics. But fullbacks, I've got three. I've got Nightswanger, Fox, Kruger. You know, Kruger can really play on either side. Fox can play on either side. Fox is better on the left. Nightswanger's on the left, right?
Yeah.
But Kruger can slot into a center back position. Granted, she doesn't usually do if it's a two back. She usually does if it's a three back. Generally, she can do a two
Hmm.
back if there's only just two center backs. So that's why I thought, okay, if somebody gets injured, really she can do it.
Hmm. Yeah, so I have Casey Kruger as well. I was thinking more of her as a replacement for Neiswanger or Fox if
Mm.
they needed, and then Dahlkemper. And Dahlkemper to me could fill in as a center back, but in my head she's still more like a defensive midfielder in my head. So like I
Abby
still want her.
Dahlkemper?
Yeah,
I think you're thinking of the
and
wrong person.
okay, but so just putting her, I guess, in the defensive end, not necessarily in the center back, is how I guess I intended her in the position, whatever. But that's where I put
You
her.
oh, sorry, you've lost me. You have Dahlkemper where?
In the as a defender, but I was thinking more like a 2 or 3. No,
Okay.
like 4 or 5. Sorry.
Okay.
I would have to look at the numbers again. I might be wrong
No,
on
you're
those
fine.
numbers.
That's what I'm okay. Because I asked you who your center backs were, and you said Gurma and Davidson. This is where I'm confused.
Yeah, so Gurman and Davidson would be my center backs, but if it absolutely came down to it, then I feel like Dahlkemper could be one of them.
So Dahlkemper was part of your 18.
Yes.
Okay, you didn't say that before.
Okay. She is part of my 18.
And you have her as a fullback,
Yes.
but she's a center back. She doesn't play fullback.
Okay. Well, I want her in my team as a fullback.
Okay. Okay. So you've got who do you have as your fullbacks?
Neiswanger, Kruger, Fox.
And Dahlkemper?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You have more okay. You have more defenders than I do. This is where I was really people are gonna have to slot into places and their endurance is gonna have to be high. Who do you have for defensive midfielder?
I guess that would be Olivia Moultrie
Oh,
or Rose Lavelle.
no, Lavelle wouldn't be a defensive midfielder.
Okay, so my midfielders, I don't have them, I guess, categorized like that.
Okay.
I have Lindsay Fran, Rose Lavelle, Katarina Macario,
Oh,
Lily Johannes, and Olivia Moultrie.
you would bring Johannes?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, we have such different. Okay, so this is where I went heavy. It's the midfield. So I've got six people. So for defensive midfielders, I'm thinking Sonnet and Coffee. All right. Coffee's playing really well. I know she's like questionable on injury, but they said they're being cautious. Sonnet, okay. I'm aware. I'm not a fan of Sonnets. I have been very upfront about that, I guess. But she can play defensive midfield. I do think she's better as a DM than a defender, but she can also slot into a center back role. So this is where I felt like if center back became a problem, Kruger or Sonnet could take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
Then for like the 8 position, I've got Haran and Albert, and then for like the 10, I've got Lavelle and Shaw. This is why I'm surprised you would take Johannes over someone like Shaw.
I have Shaw as a forward.
Oh, okay, interesting. So you're tactically giving Emma Hayes new things. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so wait, you have Macario then.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been impressed with what I've seen of her.
I mean, she was great with Chelsea, so I don't think that she showed the last camp, but with Chelsea, she showed up, and I think that she could move into that quality and
Yeah, so
just
I guess for me the concern with her is that she doesn't have any chemistry or rhythm with the US team. That's the problem I had with her.
yeah.
Not to say she's not talented. I just when I saw her with the team, it was like there are a lot of missed passes and there are a lot of like crossed wires, and I thought I just don't think there's enough time for her to get into the swing of things.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, some of this is obviously just me hoping on a lot of things. So I really didn't want to bring Albert, so I just excluded her from my list.
Okay, that's more personal reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
But because I guess I just feel like that's gonna mess with chemistry. So, or a vibe, not that necessarily
So
a
you feel
vibe
like if you bring Albert, that messes with the vibe?
of the team.
Okay.
But obviously, it doesn't necessarily mean that because I feel like they've played fine since all that happened. So I don't know that it actually does it, um, but I would like it to. I just want to experience a couple of new things, and I like Lily Johannes. I liked how she looked when
Wow.
she was playing.
I don't think. Okay. I just don't think she's ready yet for this type of tournament compared to
Yeah.
some of the others.
I don't know that she's ready by any means, but in my head, I just want to see her.
Okay. Maltry, though, another one that I feel doesn't have enough experience. Not
I picked
somebody,
her.
she's not somebody I think is bad. I just think at the moment, just doesn't have experience.
Yeah, the only reason I picked her is because I had Sam Coffey on there, but just since I wasn't certain about her injury and how consistent I guess that was going to be because it is week to week, so I didn't want to just pick Coffey and be like, well, yeah, and then she's not. So I was like, I'm going with if you're certain that doesn't have a known injury at this moment, I'm going with that.
Okay. All right. So I think we're both set on Haran and Lavelle. I think it'd be crazy not to bring them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go up top.
Okay. I have Crystal Dunn, Sophia Smith, Mal Swanson, Jaden Shaw, and Len Williams.
Oh, so you left off Rodman?
Yeah, and Morgan.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Morgan, I think not so surprising, but who do you have as coming in to replace Stryker as a sub?
Alyssa Thompson.
You have Alyssa Thompson. She doesn't play centrally though. She plays on the wing, right?
Sorry, I thought you were talking about an alternate. Let's see. So Crystal Dunn and I guess Lynn Williams.
I guess yeah, Lil Williams can come centrally. That's true. It's just that usually Stryker's usually the one thing that gets subbed. right? Because you want
Hmm.
fresh legs. Okay. All right. Yeah, I've got similar. I've got Lynn Williams. I've got Mal Swanson. I've got Smith. But I have Rodman and Morgan. Even though I know Morgan may or may not be injured, I just feel, especially if it gets to penalty situation, she's there. But also that she is enough of a threat that it takes a defender or two, and that leaves space for like Sophie Smith to kind of do her thing. I do feel that Rodman isn't a fit with Morgan, and that she doesn't play the style. She holds on to the ball too long rather than releasing Morgan, because Morgan plays on the hip some, and it makes her run to the space, and Rodman holds on the ball too long. That's where I feel like Williams is a much better fit with Morgan overall. But I do feel that Rodman works well with Swanson, so does Smith.
Hmm. Well, I'll say if Alex Morgan, when she played as number 7, I don't even remember what tournament that was, but if she came in as AM7 with that like mentality and aggression and everything, then I would 100% take her. But I think she becomes complacent in her place on the team that she's maybe not fighting for it as much as I would like her to be fighting for that. But if she came in and it was when she replaced, I guess, Maya Fisher. If she came in with that tenacity, then I would gladly have her on there.
Oh, I think she has been. I think she knows she may not make it.
Hmm. So I meant like more of the past,
Right.
not since that tournament, but previous games that they had had.
So Crystal Dunn, interesting that you chose to bring her. Is that be
Hmm.
so that she can slop in the back if you need her to,
Yeah,
just in case that Abigail Kemper's injured?
yeah, or any of the other things. I mean, because even so, like I even put Sam Coffey as my alternate in the midfield, but then I said maybe if she's injured, Taylor Flint. Although Taylor Flint hasn't been with the team in a bit,
Mm.
I think that she has shown, at least with racing, that she can. She's doing well, I guess, with racing, and so I guess I just hope that that could translate to a national team. Although it hasn't always translated. Like her and Morgan, when they were on San Diego, seemed to mesh fine, but them together on the national team didn't seem to work.
Well, that's because in San Diego she wasn't playing as a defensive midfielder, and they were trying to make her play as a defensive midfielder in the national team. Whereas at racing, she's playing as a defensive midfielder, but it's kind of like they worked her out for that. They just said, "This is where we need you," and she's done really well.
Hmm.
So let's talk about our alternates then. So you've got, and I've got Murphy as our goalkeeper, and then who are your other alternates?
Defender is Sam Stott from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Midfield is Sam Coffey, or if she's injured, then Taylor Flint, but right now Sam Coffey.
Mm-hmm.
And then forward is Alyssa Thompson.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I was debated on Thompson. I didn't pick her. I went for my alternates. I had Murphy, but then I went with Kirsten Pickett, and then I had Dahl Kemper, and then Dunn. Dunn being, okay, if somebody defender, or if we feel, or if one of the wingers gets injured, right? She can slot in. But Pickett and Dahl Kemper I picked. One is because I went leaning on the defense. But also, this is a thing that's missing from the team when you don't have people like Crescent Pickett, Dahl Kemper, or even Huerta, Sofia Huerta, is that we don't have like a direct ball. So they're all really good at getting long balls in up top and just bypassing the midfield. And while that isn't the style of play always, that is beneficial at times, and that's something that I feel has been missing, is having
Hmm.
somebody do that, because Garma's long balls aren't really very good. Davidson's aren't. Fox, Knight, Swanger, and maybe Kruger. That's not really their style, really, because they're more about getting in and then maybe making a cross in or doing some kind of 1-2 passes. But they're not sitting from the back line and like putting some long ball all the way up to like Rodman. So that's
No.
missing from the team. So that's why I had those two there. I also think
Yeah.
Carson Pickett's a really good defender, and it irritates me she doesn't get call-ups.
Hmm. No, I do. I mean, I love her on racing, and I like the combo. The defensive team there now has improved so much from the last few years. So I would absolutely love to see her, but I don't know that even last time she got called up, so I didn't want to. But
This
I do.
was, yeah, this is one of those where it's more of my wishful thinking than perhaps a reality.
Hmm.
But I still think they need somebody who can do a long ball. And so that is the
Hmm.
benefit of Kemper or even Huerta. I mean, somebody. You need somebody in the back line who can do that. And just right now, they haven't had that and haven't had it for a while. They've been excluding that. I mean, I know but in the past with the World Cup, Huerta was there, but they weren't utilizing her. So, Thompson, though, that's funny that you mentioned that because I debated on her. She was somebody I thought, do we bring her, do I not? She's had experience. Her pace is really helpful. She meshes well with people. She makes a big. I mean, I just remember watching a game where Angel City played Houston, and she came onto the side because she'd been out injured. This is last season, and immediate impact. Right, they couldn't keep up with her, and she then scored a goal. Right, she's very beneficial. At that, so I really debated on having her. I did not only because I went so lean on defense in the actual 18. I had to have something for the alternates, and also this is where I went with trying to be mindful that people can do more than one or
Yeah.
they can play kind of multiple spots. Because I think Carson Bickett can play left or right back. So,
Hmm.
like that kind of stuff. I don't know. It was hard. Who do you think? Do you really believe Johannes will get called?
No,
Okay.
I
That's just
don't.
wishful thinking. Okay.
Hmm. Because I saw a thing where I don't know what other country. I don't remember the name, which country it was, but she could apparently go to that country
Oh,
as well.
Netherlands.
Yeah, and so they were looking at possibly, I guess, pulling her if the U.S. didn't, and so I really was like, I don't want, I guess, them to have her, so I would like to have her on
Oh.
ours. So,
I'm not concerned. If she goes to Netherlands, so be it. I feel like we have enough people that I just feel like there's enough depth to cover her. I'm not that concerned. I'm looking
yeah,
at the U.S. like roster, and I'm not familiar with how Hirschfeld. Are you?
yeah, she played in the last game. She's on Washington's. Well, actually, I'll say this: I'm not actually familiar with her. She was called up to the last camp, and I don't remember her.
Yeah, I know she's been called up to camp, but she's not played. But so I'm not. I'm really not. I haven't paid
Yeah,
enough attention to her in the club or the league to.
yeah, no. So I don't know her style of play or what her strong things are. So I didn't even think about putting her on there because I don't know enough about her to confidently go, yep, slot her in here.
Oh yeah, I definitely was putting her on there. I was surprised to see her face on this roster. I
Hmm.
on the webpage, not the official.
No, I looked at it. I understood.
All right, all right. So some of your picks. Who do you think? So like, I don't think Macario should get pulled up or called up solely because I don't think she has enough chemistry at the moment with the team because she's just been injured so long. But
Hmm.
I feel like Emma Hayes will call her up just because of the Chelsea connection.
Yeah, that's the other reason why I had picked her, just because I felt like there's camaraderie between them already, or knowledge of what she can do, even though there's not necessarily a good connection with the other
Yeah,
people on
so
the team.
I think the big questions are for me. We both want like Lynn Williams, and I think Lynn Williams has shown herself, and she can play all across the front really, and she does well. And I think she gives you pace that we don't always have other spots. But Emma Hayes hasn't had her in our last couple rosters.
She had a calf injury, so she just came back from the calf injury. So I did my picks of what I would like, the absurdity of it, and then I did a pick of what I think that will likely happen, and I put Lynn Williams as an alternate in my what I think will likely happen as a forward.
Mm. So you
So
think that Emma Hayes will have her at least as an
just
alternate?
yeah, but I don't see her making the
Do you
main
okay? So
roster.
and did you feel that Emma Hayes would have had Alex Morgan or not?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you have to have a direct backup to Swanson. I just think, and I think you need to have a different. She gives you something a little different, and she's still a threat. So it takes the center back's attention. They can't like lose sight of her
Mm-mm.
because if you give her the space, she'll score.
She will. I think that also with her, part of the issue is it aggravates me to no end that she is offsides all the time. So I just didn't want to see that. And I was like, if I can, in my own world, pick that off of the schedule or the roster, then I'll pick that off the roster. But she is still a threat. She's still a great player. So I'm not denying her ability or anything. It was just, that irritates me for some reason. So.
So you didn't have Rodman in your once. Do you think will that be in your? You're pretty certain Emma Hayes picks her.
Yeah, just because she's been so consistent with there, and I think that she may. I don't remember the. I was trying to remember the last camps, whatever, that she played like every game of 2024 so far. So I don't think. I think she's just kind of a mainstay at this point.
Yeah.
Um, I think that she's going to make it.
So somebody that I'm really happy that has gotten back into the fold is Casey Kruger because I really have always liked her and it irritates me that she's kind of been dropped off for a while. And so it's nice that Emma Hayes has started to include her. Do you think she'll actually bring her?
So on my what I believe is going to happen, I put her as an alternative or alternate. So the only I think the keepers will kind of be the same, but I put maybe Alyssa Nair and Casey Murphy is still kind of slotted in the number 2 spot for keepers, so I was kind of afraid to like solidify and say for certain Jane Campbell, so I did her as an alternate, although she is rocking the NWSL at this moment. Then I did Gurma, Fox, Davison, Sonnet, Dunn, Neiswanger on D, and then Kruger is my alternate on that one. And then midfield, I did Horan, Lavelle, Albert, Macario, and then I put Coffee with a question mark because it's up to her injury. And then this one's still a long shot is Olivia Moultrie as an alternative or alternate. And then Rodman, Smith, Swanson, Shaw, Morgan in the front, and then alternate Lynn Williams. And then possibly if Sam Coffey was injured, Andy Sullivan.
Yeah, so Mindy Sullivan's somebody I consider because I know people aren't happy about her. I actually feel that she had a really good World Cup. I think one thing that's lost is that she wasn't asked to just be a true defensive midfielder. She was asked to push up a lot. I don't think that's her. I don't know if people really paid attention to this, but there are often times it's not generally your defensive midfielder can sit in front of your center backs and doesn't move too far out to the lines, right? It's not to say they never go out there, but it's generally. And she would be way pushed up far, like up by the wingers, right? And that wasn't her doing that. She was asked to kind of be a bit more free roaming, right? And then they had like a pseudo double pivot. So, but I still think she had a good tournament. But she hasn't been called up by Emma Hayes, and so I just said, you know what, Coffey's doing really well at the moment, and so I know she has her injury, but I thought it probably going to be her anyway.
Yeah, that was just kind of maybe if Coffey is actually excluded. I did put Coffey in there as the original, and then if it is decided, she's too bad off to be effective in the thing, then Sullivan would be the option to fill in there.
So somehow Sonnet always makes it through. Man, she has 9 lives.
She does, and somehow she'll have such bad games or matches, and then she comes out and then she does amazing, or at least makes a decent enough play that it's beneficial to the team. And then it's like, no, I can see why they pick you, but it still aggravates me because I feel like there are more intelligent players that can just read certain balls better or plays or the field, and I guess, would like to see that, but she somehow makes it. She does have the 9 lives.
Yeah, I do like her better in the midfield. I complain about this a lot. She's not a fullback, right? She can't. She's for some reason is very poor at tackling there. She can't read the tackle. She's not very good at reading intercepting balls. But in the midfield, she's better at it. When she's at the World Cup, she really surprised me. When I saw her, I thought, oh, she's having a good game. Oh, this hurts to say.
Mm-hmm.
She did though.
Yeah, she did, and I mean, I think that the last few times that I've watched her, she's been effective, and I don't know, necessarily has the knowledge that some you watch Germa, and she just has this soccer knowledge, and you can tell that
It's
she's
natural instinct just to kind of get an idea of seeing where the passing lanes are and where the ball's going to go.
Mm-hmm. So she just has that natural, yeah. And Sonnet doesn't seem to pick up on like patterns or anything like that, and it all seems like a surprise to her that anything is happening.
Yes, it does.
Because even like when she'll foul somebody and she just looks around confused, and it's like, you fouled them. You just kicked them in the ankle, whatever it is. But she just seems very confused a lot of the time. I'm like, just acknowledge it and move on.
Well, that's why she's not a very good defender. Somehow, though, I do think she's good in the defensive midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so who's your person that you really, really want to see, but you really feel that Emma Hayes, it just definitely is not going to pick?
I think it's going to be Glenn Williams.
That's mine, too. I really want to see her, and I just don't think she's going to get picked.
Mm-hmm.
She's my person as well. It's the one that I'm the most. She's my new Casey Kruger. It seems like the person I want, or Mitch Purse, right? I know Mitch Purse is injured now, but I want her to be in the World Cup. So This is where I'm at. I feel like it's gonna be Lynn Williams, and it's a bummer. I think she has everything that we need: experience. She's got the pace. She can get the ball into Morgan or Swanson.
Mm-hmm.
She's better at releasing. I think get better timing.
Yeah.
And she does the defensive work, but I agree. I think Emma Hayes isn't going to pick her.
Her being on mine was just kind of hopeful. Plus, I mean, she's just so fun to watch, and I mean, she just recently beat the national NWSL goal scorer record. So, it's just interesting she just is making, these records, and then for her just. Like she has that calf injury, or just came back from a calf injury, so it's not even certain that she'll be, I guess, healthy enough to even attend. But
I don't think that calf injury will keep her out. That's a month away. I don't think it'll be enough. I mean, I just don't think a calf injury is going to be a couple month thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not buying it. All right, anything else? That's our wrap up.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything else. I'm good.
All right, those are our hopeful Olympic rosters. Try to make your own. 18, not very many slots. We're pretty certain Emma Hayes is going to pick different than we did.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of a few.
I mean, if she wants my poor knowledge and random picking, then she can obviously listen to this and just do as she pleases.
Yeah, that lady knows nothing. Yep. Anyway, that's it for us. Tune in next time. I think the squads will be released soon. Hopefully we beat it. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Bye.